Hey guys, welcome back to another video, and in today's video, we're going to be doing another What's It Worth. And as you can probably tell by the title, we're going to be coming over what's standing right behind me being none other than the pink Gleaming Halloween Duskit. Now, just for reference, this bad boy wasn't actually caught by the person who lended it to me, but major shoutouts to Not Into Noob. So here's your username, major shoutouts once again. But before we get straight into the facts, I want you guys to keep everything I say with a grain of salt, as all this information is subject to change. With that being said, let's get straight into it. Now, as we know, similarly to all the other colors, this is going to be sitting at a whopping 1 in 32,000 chance to find in the wild. Now, I know recently I've actually uploaded my Gleaming Halloween cyan video, so just keep in mind that the values are a little bit off, because at that time, initially when I did make the recording, I was basing it off of the values which were around almost 40 to 50 GR. But as of now, we can see this being at the lowest of around almost 30 GR, with the highest being around 40 to almost 45 GR max. But specifically for pink, we can see this being at 40 GR. Main reason why I say 45 is just because of the color black. Probably it'll get a little bit higher demand, because I know some people may want to trade for it, but that's not for everyone. But with this being said, I just want that to be made as a clarification and a little bit of a correction from the previous video and moving onwards. But with this being said, let's get straight into the trading process. All right, and let's go to the chat. Let's type in looking for offers on pink Gleaming Halloween Duskit, and boom. And now let's wait for offers. All right, and our first trade request is coming from Riley F. So let's see what Riley has to share with us today. So we start off with a female Halloween Cinnaboo indifferent. All right, so Riley's just kind of going back and forth. They've been swapping out their Loomians. I mean, we have the Cephalops right here, which is going to be dull robust, and then the Christmas Metronite, which is going to be indifferent. They're throwing in some things. I mean, right now they've thrown in the Halvanic, remove the Cephalops. So we're just going to cut back once we get in a final offer, and I'll just let you know what I think about it. All right, so I mean, after about give or take 3 minutes or so, maybe 2 minutes, Riley did just say, do you want to, while throwing in the Gleam Halvantic Smart Sluggish, a Mutagon Robust Clumsy, a Carlos Dull Robust, a Phage Not Hyper Foolish, and potentially the same Cephalops we covered already. Knowing all this now, is this trade worth it? I think pretty much we know this trade is going to be a major thumbs down. Even if we add all these Loomians on the right, let's be honest, it's not even close to 1 GR. Major L. And with that being said, let's get into our next trade. All right, and the next trade request is coming from Royal Nick _08. So let's see what Royal has to trade with us today. So we start off with a Gleam Cyan Duskit Pure Nimble, a Gamma Blue Cosmere Indifferent, a Gamma Red Cosmere Robust Clumsy, Gamma Orange Cosmere Pure Robust, and it does seem like we're going to be overpaying over here, or maybe just flexing, we'll see. A Gamma Purple Cosmere Pure Nimble, a Gamma Teal Cosmere Pure Smart, and a Gamma Magenta Frail Smart Cosmere. And without having to ask, Royal did just say one of the Gleaming Halloween Duskits or all Cosmeres, while actually throwing in an additional Gleaming Halloween Black, which is Pure Nimble. So we actually have 3 offers, technically speaking. Let's get straight into it. First off, with the Cyan, this is going to be an E. Keep in mind that all the Gleaming Halloween Duskits as of now are going to be around the relatively same GR range. Only reason I said black was going to be a little bit higher is because some individuals maybe put in a little bit more GR for it, but I'm not going to say it's going to have better demand overall. As of now, they've all had stabilized demand, so it's around the same thing, being about good to great. So just keep that in mind. Now, cutting straight into it really quickly, the Gleaming Halloween Black is just to be a little bit of an E/W, depending on how you may see it. This is going to be a person-to-person thing. It's a good trade. Not really much to say else on that. Now, as for the Cosmeres, I know they're not going to be the greatest thing you could take, but overall, it is going to be a good trade. And the main reason I say that is because of the fact that they're around almost 13 to 16 GR, though albeit they do have mediocre, I mean, I would say decent demand. The fact that we're working with 6 of them right now is a good start. That's a decent amount of GR to work with. Personally speaking, in the long run, would I do this? Not 100%, but personally, in the temporary moment to flip the trade for better GR and personal gain, I would definitely do this trade, but that's just me. So I'll leave this one to being a W, but in the long run, we'll see how that turns out. That being said, let's get into our next trade. All right, and the next trade request is coming from Menarin TM. So let's see what Menarin has to trade with us today. So getting straight to the point, we just throw in all our Loomians offer, being the Gamma Cephalops Brownie Tender, the Gleam Mecha Ikizune, which is also going to be rechargeable and Pure Smart, the SA Christmas Nevermare Frail Smart, and a Purple Halloween Duskit Frail Smart. And it does seem like this may be Menarin's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. All right, so I've just been talking with Menarin, and they really don't know what to say their final Loomians are. So we're just going to assume that these 4 Loomians are their strongest points, and therefore we'll base their trade based on those 4 Loomians alone. So we're working with that Cephalops, the Ikizune, the Nevermare, and the Duskit. That being said, is this trade worth it? Personally speaking, this trade has got to push towards a thumbs down. Main reason I say that is because of the main factor being demand. Now, in this case, Cephalops is going to be around almost 8 to 9 GR with bad to almost horrendous demand. The Gleam Mecha Ikizune is around almost 0.8 because this one is rechargeable, but it's still going to have very bad demand. So just keep that in mind. As for the Halloween Duskits, the OG colors are pretty solid, but this one's pretty bad nature. I mean, it's Frail Smart, so it's not going to be the greatest. Let's just say that. And as for the Nevermare, just personally speaking, I'm not 200% sure if the SA is good for PvP. So assuming that it is, we'll probably put that around almost 4 to 5 GR. But that's just me being a little bit off just because I'm not too strong with Nevermare's SA on this. So overall, personally, I'm going to have to give this one, once again, a thumbs down. But with this being said, let's get into into our next trade. All right, and the next trade request is coming from DDKD, JD, JD, JCJV, JX, JKZ. So we'll just call you Katie. So let's see what Katie has to share with us today. So we start off with a Gamma Halloween Wild Owl, pure nimble, an SA Halloween Bun Puff, pure nimble, a Gamma Bun Puff, pure nimble, and it doesn't think this may be Katie's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. All right, and I did just confirm with Katie as to whether or not this is their final offer or not, and they did just say yes with a double S. And at the same time, while also doubling down and saying this is my final offer, they do just add in the Gleaming Halloween Dakota, pure nimble, and it's also going to be the yellow one. Now, everything taken accounts for, is this trade worth it? Personally speaking, this trade is going to push towards an L, and one of the main reasons for this is going to be both value and demand, since those are technically integrated with each other. First off, looking into the Wild Owl, we're looking at this being around almost 2 GR at the very highest. Once again, we can see this maybe pushing 2, but realistically, we can see this maybe 1.3, 1.4 GR. As for the SA Bun Puff, that's not going to be really too high because, I mean, the Gleam is barely pushing 1.7 GR, so realistically, we can see this being under 1 GR at the very best. And for the Gamma Bun Puff, we can see this being around almost 3 GR, but it has bad demand overall. As for the Gleaming Halloween Yellow Dakota, finally, we can see that being around almost 11 GR with bad demand. Overall, that should give you a good picture to work with. It's once again going to have to be a thumbs down. But with this being said, let's get into our next and final trade. All right, and the next and final trade request is coming from Gaming with Ben 08. Let's see what Ben has to trade with us today. All right, we start off with the Gleam Christmas Ikizune Indifferent. And just before I read anything else, it does seem like it's going to be a flex offer, so just keep that in mind. But we have the Gleam Orange Akalos from the Halloween event, Indifferent. We have the Gleaming Halloween Shachi, which is going to be the non-first edition, pure nimble. Gleaming Halloween Purple Dakota, pure nimble. A Gleam Blue Halloween Dakota, pure nimble. Gleaming Halloween Yellow Dakota, pure nimble. Gleaming Halloween Orange Dakota, foolish nimble. Gleaming Halloween Green Dakota, pure nimble. A Gleam Sandcastle Pyramid, which is going to be pure nimble and temper. A Gleam Rainbow Elaguana, pure nimble. A Gleaming Halloween Red Dakota, pure nimble. And a first edition Halloween Shachi Smart Foolish. And it does seem like this may be Ben's final offer, but I'll quickly check in a second. All right, and Ben did just confirm. I did ask whether or not it was just those 2 Loomians or if it's all, and Ben did just say all. I'm not gonna lie, we're gonna get straight to the point. This is a flex offer. So with this being said, is this trade worth it? We pretty much know the answer. This trade is gonna be a major thumbs up. Main reason is gonna be because of the Gleaming Christmas Ikizune along with the other additional ads. I mean, yeah, some of them don't have great demand, but overall it is the quantity that is gonna push towards this major overpay. Nothing else I need to explain any further. You see the values. And with all that in mind, let's get this trade wrapped up and let's get to it. So yeah, guys, that's gonna be it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure to like, subscribe, and join our Discord server. While you're at it, go join Reliable Values as we're doing a little giveaway for the 1,000 members in Reliable Values, as well as hitting 8250 for our sub count, which we're about almost 3 subs away. So we just need 3 of you guys to subscribe right now ASAP. Once we do that, we can give away 1,000 Robux plus about 6 GR to one of you lucky viewers. But don't just stop there, because if you head on over to my TikTok, I do have some interesting content. So I would highly recommend you guys go follow that and watch any content. It's already reposted from YouTube, but nonetheless, go watch it. And do stay tuned for any merch that's coming out regarding the Gleaming Halloween Duskit and Noli merch. That being said, I hope you guys enjoy. Remember, pineapples are vegetables. I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care, stay safe, peace.